Field. Oh boy.
A few of the reasons why I came to Duluth, Minnesota is to not only visit with my brother and sister-in-law, but it was also to tweak Mr. White and Top Hat a little bit. This is the kitchen sink for the top for the Mr. White, and I had to take him out of Mr. White, the kitchen sink out of Mr. White because it needs some tweaking. And the only way to tweak it is to pull the sink out and figure out what's going on. I believe I have a leak in my water system. There's 40 gallons of fresh water up in the top hat, that box up there. And one morning I woke up to a headliner that was just mushy. It was all water, just almost ready to drip. It's like a sponge that was just about ready to drip. And it wasn't, but the headliner up there, right on the driver's side, was completely soaked. So I thought I might have had a leak, but it was also during a rain. And I'm thinking maybe the rain just leaked. Well, the water line comes right down there, and you can see, well, you can't see up in here, but there's about 3 or 4 connections up here, which could be the place of leak where the leaking was. But down in here, you can see there's potential leaks on those connections there, potential leaks in these connections, and this is the line that goes into the sink. So I'm going to redesign that to make it a little bit better. And this will be the hose that I'm going to replace that stuff with. And that hose is going to come from the freshwater tanks and directly down into, directly down into this valve here. Where's the valve? The valve is over there. It's an on-off valve. And no, it's not. The valve is right there. That's the valve. It's an on-off valve. And that'll be the only connection made between the sink and the freshwater tank. And where I thought the leak was is as the fresh water comes down through the top hat. Let's see if I can get a good picture of this. Comes down through the top hat. Where am I? Here we are. Comes down through the top hat right there and down into the inside. I was thinking maybe it was leaking from there. Maybe it broke a leak or rubbed against the metal and made a leak, but yeah, it doesn't look like it's leaking there, but I'm still going to replace it anyway. And then these 2 lines here are electrical lines. One is for the solar panel and the other is for the electrical line and the horn. The horn is I don't know if I can see it there, but the horn is up there. And the electrical line, so when I mooch dock, I can plug in to shore power, and that's up in there. You can't really see it, I don't think, but it's up there. And then that's the water hose that replenishes the water in the freshwater tank. And the electrical line comes down here and connects into shore power. Right now it goes into the house. I'm in Duluth, Minnesota with Therese. We're in a church parking lot and we're gonna look at a full moon coming up. What's it called? Says full moon?
This is called a supermoon.
Supermoon.
It's also called
A buck moon, supermoon. So it should be coming up in about 10 minutes or so. But it might be too foggy out there to see it. So hopefully it'll show up. There's Duluth down there. In an app now that shows where the full moon is. It's just below the horizon, and this is a app that shows where it is in relation to the horizon. And you can't all make it out there, but it's there. There it is coming up. There's a bunch of lights right here, right there, and then the moon is right there, starting to rise. Poking his head up. Well, the moon out there is orange, and in here it's white. Okay. There's Lake Superior, reflection of the moon you see down there. That stripe. Starting to get bright now. Thought it'd be a good idea to try and hold the moon up or push it up to the sky. Grand Niece is becoming an artist. Savannah has drawn this freehand. It's a t-shirt with Rose, the black bear, and Pete the dragon on it. I think she did a fantastic job. You can see that.
6,000 pounds of thrust, and that's way more than the airplane weighs.
Yes, sir. I weigh, we made it right for the show, 4,800 pounds.
And that means you can accelerate going straight up. That is ballistic flight, if you ask me.
We actually maintain maximum speed, 750 miles an hour in a morning.
This is two single-engine planes put together, so now it's a two-engine radial plane with a jet engine attached, and you can hear the jet engines after the plane gets past us. All you can hear is a jet engine.
What's your altitude? I was going to say, how high are you? But I think you probably respond with something like not high enough to go duck hunting with a rake. But what is your altitude?
I like that one. Just stopping out about 3,500 feet for the spin. There's a difference of power here, full power on one, idle on the other.
So that makes your spin rate probably about 360 degrees per second. That's dizzying. Why? I would be throwing up right now. How is it that you don't throw up?
Oh, I got a six-pack here for right this moment.
Okay, sounds good to me. And you, of course, had peanut butter before you took off.
You gotta do it.
Because it tastes the same coming up as it did going down.
You got it.
And the J-85 jet engine has found its way into a lot of airplanes, most notably Learjet, but you've got that mounted on the bottom of that thing. You had to really beef up this airframe to make it hold together with all that power.
Oh yeah, you know, with the three throttles, I like to say I've got three throttles,
United States Air Force, F-35A, line 2.
It's time for the Thunderbirds to show their skills.